When something like ABALOBI came to the fore for me, it was like stepping in a room and suddenly being able to switch on the light.
It needs to be part of our DNA to make sure we give back, that we think about what we do, what impact does my life have on other people, and where can I make a difference.
10 years ago, the farmers were the rock stars. The chefs all said no. They all just celebrated the farmers. We forgot about the fishermen. Now we know exactly who it's from. And who will be able to buy school shoes this week? It made it a very personal thing, which was beautiful.
Seeing the real change and impact that ABALOBI has in the communities for me is incredible. I mean, it's like goosebump stuff, really, and that makes it all the more significant.
You can put a name to the community, the families that it's affected, and the fact that you can trace all of that back, and it's amazing. The scanning the code to kind of see where all of that comes from. It changes everything. It makes it real.
I think what's even more remarkable than the fact that we get fresh fish through a really nifty app. We often think of sort of carbon footprint or our sustainability or responsibly sourced ingredients as only sort of an environmental thing, but there's also the socio-economic part of it that's really, really important, and that's what's so amazing about how ABALOBI is really impacting lives and has changed for the better, small-scale fishing communities.
I was privileged enough to visit the communities in Struisbaai and Buffeljachts and to chat to the women and to actually go there and see the difference it's making and to listen to their stories. And to hear that from the fishermen and from their wives, to hear them tell you that story, how it's made such a difference. It's incredible. Why isn't everybody doing this? It's not just about the traceability. It's really about how we are uplifting communities by doing it the right way.
And when you can support the small scale fishers that are working as hard for their money and it goes directly to them, it will always feel better than some big corporate fishing company.
It was so empowering knowing that we were paying directly to the fishermen, and those were supporting underprivileged families and being able to school those children that weren't getting schooled before. And for me, that's been really important because that's one of the big lessons I think that's been learnt in COVID. We need to know where our food's coming in. We need to support those people.
To be able to know where things come from is amazing. But what's really amazing is the fact that ABALOBI does good to people as well. It does good to communities, it uplifts, it gives people pride, pride in their work, pride in their heritage, and it gives us access. So it really ticks all the boxes for us.
We are now actually starting to look after people. It's not all just about money anymore. It's not all just about business anymore. And the fact that it's a resource that can be depleted means that we are starting to give a damn about our oceans and the people that actually look after us.
Especially through COVID, it's one of the most important things right now to support everything local, whether it be suppliers, fishermen, and that's what ABALOBI's done. They're bridging the gap between the supplier, the fisherman, and the restaurant. This should be a benchmark for other suppliers.
It makes sense in a bigger spectrum of the well-being of our oceans, that there's a communication, a proper link now between people that look after our oceans, the marine biologists, the fishermen, and the chefs now. So, you know, the circle is sort of complete, which I think makes sense. We don't just use things out of the ocean anymore. There's contact and communication between everybody.
Choosing green listed fish, I can be environmentally conscious and sustainable, but choosing ABALOBI green listed fish, I can be traceable and ethical and do the right thing for people. So it's way more of a balance, you know, you're doing the right thing for the environment but also for the people catching the fish, and that's why I think the two of them marry so beautifully together.
And so it's really fantastic to now know that the fish that I'm eating was caught correctly, was treated correctly, and the fact that I'm buying it through ABALOBI makes the fishermen have a sustainable life. For me, there's actually no other way to buy fish.
Traditional supply chains, it was a bit of, it was like murky waters, you know, you never really knew what species you're receiving. I think for chefs all around, it's a dream come true to have, you know, a diverse range of lesser known species, things that we've not cooked with before, that often would be undervalued. I mean, I kind of now wish that all our ingredients could be sourced in this way.
They don't have the same species of fish available all the time. It's not the same, it's what they can get. We're chefs at the end of the day. You don't need to be so fixed in your ways. Use what's available. You should use what nature is giving you. Chefs should change as seasons change.
The role of a chef is not just to give people great food, but you have to be responsible in what you do, and at that same time, educate people. Educate people where it comes from. Tell them. The guests, the customers need to start asking more questions. The people need to play their part. They need to be part of this story and ask, well, where did it come from? On an ecological level, but also on a social level.
I think it's really been a positive thing for our guests. They know where their fish is now coming from. It's also changed our customers' perception of what fish they must order. Now knowing that there's plentiful, beautiful yellowtail and Cape Brie, you don't have to just have kinklip and cob. Diners, I think, have become a little bit more adventurous in trying more unknown species which have always been there. They kind of just have fallen away a bit, have now become front and center again.
The way we convey the story back to our customers is by the way to firstly telling the story that this is ABALOBI fish, and that's become quite a powerful statement these days that the customers actually know. And if they don't, they'll be educated on the day where what is ABALOBI, what is the marketplace, what is the whole thing with, you know, fish with a story. But the QR codes are incredible. The fact that they, you know, it makes them interactive, and it makes them research it a bit, it makes them get involved. Awareness is very powerful.
When we got hold of ABALOBI, it really ticked our boxes because even the guests that we have here wanted to know what fish we're serving. Is it actually line caught? Where did you get it from? We can actually get the whole parentage, or whatever you want to call it, of the fish and be able to have that conversation with our guests. You felt like you were a part of something that is doing good, and you weren't just a taker, but you were part of giving back.
We're always telling the story even when we don't have fish, which is quite nice, because guests ask, oh, what's ABALOBI? Why is it ABALOBI on your menu? Why don't you have fish? We've got guests that phone and ask when fish is coming in, so we're engaging a lot more on that story.
If I want to be a citizen of this country, then I owe it to make a difference. And I think ABALOBI makes it really easy. It's really easy to make a difference. Just make the right choice, buy from the right source, ask the right questions, and you're changing someone's life.